We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Welcome back to Show and Tell, everyone. I'm Billie. I've been a little bit erratic about posting. If you've been here with me before, you may know that I spent 2 weeks in Paris, 1 week of which I was confined to a wheelchair. In case you're interested, I am recovering very well. I'm walking again, thank goodness. Before I go into the usual routine of finished objects, there aren't any, whips and acquisitions, I just wanted to mention yet again that later this month I will be starting another vintage knit along. I'll put a picture here of the sweater that I'm planning to knit with you. So if you've been hankering to knit a vintage sweater and you've been afraid because it's only written for one size and it's on some obscure needle size like a 12 that doesn't make any sense with a 2-ply or a 4-ply yarn, you have come to the right place. You will want to be with me when I do this, because not only do I help you figure out how you're going to approach altering the size to fit you, but a group of us meet together on Zoom every week for a period of time. We come together, we discuss what we're doing, because sometimes, 5 brains are better than one. Sometimes people come up with ideas of how to approach something that I may not have thought of. And there is a lot of intuition and experience involved. So if you're less experienced, you can certainly benefit from those of us who have had more experience in knitting from vintage patterns. So I heartily encourage you to go ahead and click on this link. Click on this link, which will take you to a place where you can get more information about the scheduling and other details. So I hope to meet you then if I don't already know you. Okay, let me jump right into my first work in progress. I keep having a problem with my microphone. It's pulling my camera down because it's plugged into it. Hopefully it stays put now. I don't know, I don't trust this. Okay, so let me just jump right into my works in progress. The first one that I wanted to show you has some politically incorrect name, like gay sweater, I don't know. It's from the 1930s, so there's no telling. Language was used differently back then. I don't have to tell you that. It's a very unusual pattern because of the way in which it is knit. So let me do this slow reveal. It looks like I'm knitting a scarf, right? It just keeps on going and going and going and going. Actually, this is the top. This is the back of the neck, going down the raglan to the underarm, and then this is the front of the sweater. So if I fold it at the underarm and turn it around, that's oriented as if it were on my body. This would be my left underarm, and there's the two fronts, the left front and the right front with the buttonholes. This black piece is the button band. This may need to have some kind of facing behind it. I'm not sure. It's not quite as sturdy as some of the areas next to it. Like this has some stranding behind it. So I don't know, this is kind of like flimsy in comparison to this gray section. Anyway, it's a little hard to show you, but let's try this. Okay, so that's the body, the fronts and the back all connected into one piece. The sleeve, the raglan sleeve, is like this. It's a short sleeve, so it's going to come under here. I finished one sleeve, not stuck on Sleeve Island. I am working on the other sleeve, but I'm part way on Sleeve Island. Not totally. Why? Because these are all scrap yarns left over from other projects, and I thought I had more than enough to make a sweater, but it turned out that I had run out of my original 2 grays that I was using. I did have to supplement with some yarn that I bought from my favorite local yarn shop, Nabavian, and I'm going to put a code here so that you can go to their website and shop with them at a 10% discount. So now I'm at the point where I have enough gray, but I'm running out of the black. And I've used the black together with the white to do a little marled section, and I've used the black double-stranded to do this black section. Mostly everything here is 2 strands because with just a single strand I wasn't able to get gauge and I was getting too flimsy a fabric. So I want to show you what I have and I want your opinion. These are all small pieces. Well, I picked probably the longest one to pull out. Let me find another one. Oh my goodness, I'm finding all the long ones. Well, that's good because it means I have more than I thought I had. Yeah, so a lot of them are pieces like this. Some of them are even smaller than that. These are little bits that I've clipped off from different sections. And if I lump it all together, that's what I have. Now, to give you a basis for judging whether you think I'm going to have enough or not, I am just about halfway through this sleeve. Like I'm right at this center section. I have about that much more to go. So take a good look at that. There's black and white, there's solid black, there's black and white, solid black, black and white, solid black, black and white, another black stripe. I think that's about how much more I have to do. Do you think I will make it across the finish line? Leave me a comment. In all fairness, I should tell you that I have another black. This is the black that I did the button band in. This is the collar. I'm not sure that this collar is really gonna fit. Like, I can't tell which is the end that attaches to the neck. I think it's the side with these little notches. But again, vintage pattern, very little instructions. You gotta figure this out on your own. You have to be kind of like a, I don't know, clairvoyant or something, which I'm not. I think that the collar is going to be like this, with these notches matching up to something that's not clear. Maybe when I block this, it'll fit. Maybe it's okay. I'm just not sure. But blocking it, I could probably get it to where I need it to be. I do have this much more of this yarn. This is a different gauge than the other black. So maybe if I use a single strand of this, in a pinch I will, especially as I get down to the under part, the very end of the sleeve, which is going to be under here. Nobody's going to be looking there to see, is she using the same black or not? So I might be able to get away with it, but I am curious to know like what you think. If I absolutely have to, I can go back to Nabavian. He's got every shade of black, so I could get something that matches the black that I'm using. I also have this little bit of yarn, which in a pinch I could use in place of the black and white marled. I don't really want to have to go that route, but we'll see. So that's my first whip. My second whip is knit with Merino Baby by Pasquale, the same manufacturer as the sea cell that I used, that blue and white sweater that I did. Not this one, the summer one. This is 100% virgin wool, organic merino. It's meant to be knit on a size 3 to 4 needle, which is where I'm at. and it gets 30 stitches and 35 rows to 4 inches or 10 centimeters square. Soft Argentinian organic merino. Don't forget, this is available on Nabavian's website or in person. Don't forget to use the discount code. So I purchased, guess what, my favorite color? Gray. It's a charcoal gray because I'm knitting a pair of fingerless mitts. Really, the pattern is for a wrist warmer, but I want to convert it to a fingerless mitt for my cousin Sylvie in Paris. I know she wears a lot of gray. Her coloring is similar to mine. Blue eyes. Once upon a time, she too had black hair. So she and I tend to wear similar colors, and I've seen her wearing a lot of gray. I am knitting these 2 at a time. The edge is meant to be a little bit on the ruffly side, and they are meant to be just wrist warmers, but I'm going to knit them a little bit longer, and I'm leaving an opening for a thumb so that it will come up a little bit higher and cover more of her hand, because it's just as cold in Paris as it is in New York, and I think she'll get more use out of them if they're a little bit warmer. So it is kind of, I don't know if you would call this lace. There's no yarn overs, there's no holes in it, but it's definitely similar to lace because you do have left-leaning decreases, right-leaning decreases that make this sort of interesting. I feel it's like an Art Deco motif almost. So these will probably be finished between now and when I see you again. So I might actually have an FO next time we meet. Yay, it's rare. As you know, it takes me months generally to knit a sweater. So I thought this was like a little bit of an in-between. I needed to give her a gift because she was so generous with her gifts to us. But just like a little in-between projects. I'll probably finish the sweater soon, I hope. And I'll look for buttons at VKL in late January because there's a vendor there who has vintage buttons, and I kind of wait for her. I have a few things that need buttons, so stay tuned for that episode. That's always a goodie. I wanted to give a shout out to 2 of my fans. The first one is my friend Deborah, who sent us this beautiful box of chocolate truffles from Maxime's in Paris. She might have seen, I'm guessing that she saw towards the end of our Paris video that we passed by Maxime's. And maybe that inspired her to give us this treat. Anyway, they are very, very delicious. Thank you, Deborah. And the other person, I was overwhelmed. It's very rare that any of you send any contribution to the channel through PayPal or Venmo, although I do have links in the show notes. But this person who follows me on Instagram, his handle is Art Deco Dude, so go check him out. He sent me a very lavish thank you. So I wanted to give him a shout out, especially to say thank you so much. And I hope that we will meet in person, perhaps at the next Art Deco World Congress, which will take place in Chicago in 2027. I promised to do a random drawing from the YouTube comments on the Paris Yarn Shop video. A lot of you commented. Thank you so much. I always appreciate that. Feel free anytime. The more comments, the better for the YouTube algorithm, you know. So let me try and make this happen. Okay, fantastic. And the winner is Noble Elf. Congratulations. I will try and be in touch with you and one way or another, we'll figure out a way that I can get your snail mail address so I can send these things your way. Congratulations. So I think that's it for this time. If you want more of me, go check out the Paris video. It's an hour and a half. You'll have lots of Billie, Billie happily in Paris, or my tour of 2 of the local yarn shops there. I'll put links. If they're not up here, look in the show notes. I'll have links to these things. I think it's been a little difficult for me with physical therapy 2 to 3 times a week and doctor's visits and my teaching. I teach kids to knit a couple days a week. All of these things are sort of getting in the way of my being with you. And I can't say that in the new year things are going to settle down, but I just feel like I'm knitting a little bit less. Maybe you're feeling that too, with holiday parties and things starting to really kick into high gear for then. But I'll try, and for sure towards the end of the year I will be starting a new sweater. So I want to wrap up a few things, and I'm on track to do that, so that's a good thing. I'll see you next time. Ciao. Au revoir.